Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee. Yes, because this is Morning Coffee with Elio. And I don't need to tell you that I am excited. I have a special guest this morning that, has been making an impact in Gator Nation. Yes, he is the reporter and young journalist at TV20 News. Yes, our local station has been supporting this community for a long time. So you are about to learn more about my friend, yes, that he came from Orlando, to make, once again, an impact in Gator Nation. Are you ready to welcome to Morning Coffee with Elio, Dylan Lyons? Here we go. How you doing, Dylan?
Thank you for having me, Elio.
I am very excited.
It's great to be here.
Yes. Did you got your morning coffee today?
I had my morning coffee. A few cups.
Awesome. Dylan, I want to thank you, first of all, I want to thank you for everything that you have done and you are doing, along with TV20 News, supporting our community, supporting different causes, different charities, supporting organizations, making it happen, and, sponsoring so many events. I really appreciate that on behalf of our community, and personally I thank you guys because I've been to TV20 oftentimes, enough times I will say that I consider you guys my own family. So I want to thank you all for being here with me on Morning Coffee with Elio. And let me ask you, this is gonna be my first question to you. How does it feel to be in the other side of camera?
It's interesting. I'm usually the one asking the questions, so we'll see how this goes. I love answering questions.
That is fantastic. So, I am very interested in learning more about what is the whole process for you guys to be able to work as a reporter, as a young journalist. So talk to me about, at the very beginning of Dylan Lyons, coming from Orlando. I know that you actually come from UCF, but talk to me about the very beginning of your career.
So the beginning of my career, I kind of see it starting in college. It starts with, deciding that you want to pursue journalism and then deciding what path you want to take in journalism, broadcast journalism, what I do, or print journalism, such as newspapers, and then you kind of go from there. But before that decision is made, you have to learn the core principles of the career. I think with any career, it's, pretty similar. You got to learn the core principles, the core values. And with us, it's writing, trustworthiness, honesty, and then you learn, specifically for your track. So for me as a broadcast journalist, I learned how to write condensed. I write quick and tell you the facts that you need to know in a short period of time. And so then I learned how to film video and film events and, what you film and, rules of filming, like rule of lower thirds. And then you kind of learn what to film and what makes interesting video. You always want to get stuff that's active. And then throughout your time, at UCF, we have our own student-run TV show, so we do our news programming every Friday. But you also do internships, and that helps you understand a little bit more about what's going on in the real world outside of the classroom. So, it's a combination of paperwork, actively doing what you're learning on the paper, and then doing internships to help better prepare you. And then you put that all together at the end of your college career, send it out to stations, and if they're interested, you guys talk and, see if you're a right fit for one another and then pursue your first job.
Exactly. That is awesome. So how do you guys learn about selecting relevant stories? All right. How you guys know what is relevant, what is irrelevant?
So I think, we all have different understandings of what is irrelevant, what's different, what is not relevant, and that's just based on how we learn and the station we're at now. So I think for us is, how does it impact the community? The community is always our number one focus at TV20. That's the thing we focus on the first is, if it does really have a positive or negative impact on the community, why are we still going to cover this story? So the community is obviously the first and foremost uh, importance to us. Then we do timeliness. Why are we telling this story right now? If there's no reason to tell it right now, why can't we tell it in 6 months? So you got to figure, why are you telling this story now? Why is it important to tell now? And then you got to just see what you can get with your story. You got to make sure you're going to be able to get stuff with talk to people about your story. And that's kind of what makes a relevant story, at least for our station. And stations differ across the market in Gainesville, across the country, and across the world.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So let me ask you, because you also work at the field, okay? You work out there, reporting from different, I would say, scenes. Sometimes you need to report a crime. You need to report, I don't know. Do you guys also probably do sports, at some point as well?
Yeah, we have a sports anchor, a sports reporter, and a sports photographer. But obviously, right now, sports are at a standstill. So they're using their skills to help us in the news department, because in the end, we're all supposed to be able to do everything. I shoot sports sometimes when we're in high school football season, so we all help each other out in some way.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that if you also do sports. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. So what is your favorite field? It is like news, local news or sports. What is your favorite?
I love going out and meeting the community. I think, every time I have that opportunity to go talk to people, to go meet them, and, to just go tell stories, I think that's the coolest part about this job for me. And, I love just talking to people. And I know when I first met you, I enjoyed talking to you. We have such big personalities, you and I, that, we just got along so well. And it's so great to meet people and meet the people that are listening to my stories.
Yes, I can tell you're a people person, man. I really enjoy talking to you and being at the station. I mean, it is fantastic, and you guys really from the I think his name is Spencer, the producer, right?
Yes.
Shout out to the producer, to all you guys. You guys really treat people as family, and that's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to mention. So talk to me about when you guys are on the field, when you are out there, and you need to investigate and go a little deep into stories. So talk to me about that process. How do you guys investigate stories to make sure that you actually are giving right facts, and it's the story is actually because when you have a story, there is many opinions, okay, many opinions. So what is the process to say, hey, this story is ready to publish?
So the first thing is identifying a story. I mean, we can't do anything without identifying a story, whether that's us finding the story ourselves or receiving a news tip from a community member or an official. So we talk about it at our morning meeting, which we generally have around 9:30 in the morning, and then we will talk about that. We'll deem what we think is newsworthy and what we're going to try to achieve for the day. And then we just start making our calls. We look up the stories to see if we've done anything about it in the past. And then we'll start making our calls to officials that need to be heard from for this story, as well as community members. A lot of the time we'll use this term MOS, which is, street sound, where we just go up to random people and get their opinion on things. And so, we got to talk to people. We have to talk to everyone. Everyone's opinion needs to be heard in order for it to be a truthful and well-rounded story. So, we'll do our research, we'll reach out to the public officials, we'll schedule interviews, then we'll come back to our station, or as we're doing it now, we'll come back to our home offices and we'll put everything together, we'll record it, and we will then send it to our producers to get it on air for our 5 and 6 or even our 11 o'clock newscast.
Wow, that's very interesting. So, people sometimes they may think that being a reporter it is like a very easy job. It is simple, and my personal opinion is that it is not. To me, it looks really hard to be in an environment where you can feel overwhelmed. But I mean, if you are in a crime scene or if in a bad accident, all right. I mean, how does it feel to you, and how do you guys manage these different situations?
Well, I never want to discount anyone's opinion. So if they think our job is easy, I would encourage them to, shadow us, see what it's like, because you always want someone to understand what you're doing, because, those who think it may be easy may not fully understand what we're doing. So, it's not my job to discount their opinion. They rightfully have that opinion and they are entitled to that. So, we encourage them. I would encourage them to, look up what we do, see what we do, and maybe even talk to a journalist like we're doing today. But, I think it is stressful no matter where we go. We're always under deadlines. We're always in contact with producers. And, as my job as an MMJ, where I shoot all my video, I record all of it, I track it, I cut it all together, it's a little bit more stressful because you have to do, in a sense, two jobs in one, where you are making sure that you're getting everything on air properly. And then you're also being a reporter where you're making sure you're getting all the facts straight. And it's stressful, especially when you go to a crime scene, because you never know what to expect. Those are the most uncertain scenes, and those are the most uncertain things that you can get when you go to a crime scene. But when you go to a story that you already have scheduled, you kind of know what you're going to get, which is nice, and you know who you're going to talk to, you know what to expect, which is a little bit better. But then you could get that call in the middle of an interview saying, hey, I need you to come out to the scene. We got a breaking news scene. So, it's always being prepared and ready to go, and being flexible. Those are the three main principles: being ready to go, being ready to switch, and being flexible.
Wow, that is awesome. And if I ask you, what is your favorite, or why would you prefer, being on the studio or being out there on the field?
Oh, being out in the field. I love the field. There's nothing like, seeing people out in the field. And it's funny because when you're out in the field, you have people watching you. Random people will just stop and watch you. And, obviously sometimes it makes you nervous when, you're going to a crime scene and people are sitting there watching you. But, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet people, you get to talk to people. And I love being in the studio. I love interacting with my coworkers, but I love interacting with the community even more. I think it's just amazing. It's, these are the reason, the community is the reason we tell these stories, and just talking to them every day, it makes my job even feel that much more special.
Yes, that is awesome. So, how do you guys decide if a story that somebody's telling you is fake news? I mean, or how would you qualify it, or decide if something is fake news?
Right. So we would obviously, take that news from someone, listen to what they have to say. And if it's an email, we would give them a call, talk to them a little bit more about it. And you just have to vet something properly. As always, you got to talk to everyone that, they're alleging or they're talking to and saying stuff about. You always got to talk to everyone, because, if you don't talk to everyone and, you go on air with it, then you're not being 100% truthful. And that at TV20, we never do. We always talk to everyone, or try to talk to everyone. And if we aren't able to talk to everyone, we let we let the people at home know that, we reached out to these people, but they refused to talk, or they declined to talk, or they weren't available to talk, or even they had talked to us but said they had no comment. So, it's being truthful by telling someone that you're reaching out to everyone, and actually reaching out to everyone, and, giving everyone a voice in the story. Because if you don't, then it's kind of hard to say you did a full, well-rounded story for everyone to hear. So, you got to talk to everyone. And, if something seems fishy and you're vetting it and it doesn't pan out, and everything's not adding up, and it doesn't seem right, then it's probably not right. And, we don't always go with that story, because we need to be sure that we're putting out the correct information and proper information, because we don't want to mislead the community in any way whatsoever.
Wow, that is fantastic. Hey, we are going to take a quick break, and we are coming back with more, from Dylan Lyons, reporter at TV20 News. And when we come back, I would like to talk about, how you balance life, with work, and how is your schedule and all of that, and overwhelming situations, so we can actually learn more about it. So you better stay right there, because this is Morning Coffee with Elias with Dylan Lyons, and we are coming back right now. Here we go. This is Morning Coffee with Elias. It's going to be a great day. We have a fantastic guest right now. So we are coming back after this break. And just like that, yes, we are back. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. We are here with the great Dylan Lyons, yes, reporter, TV 20 News. Okay, so if you actually missed some of the questions, the first half of the show, I'm telling you, go back and watch it because it's been very interesting and I'm having a lot of fun with Dylan this Friday morning. So, Dylan, talk to me about what is for you an overwhelming situation.
I think an overwhelming, situation is, whenever you go to a crime scene. I think for me that is the hardest part because I'm a human being. I'm a human being first. I'm a journalist second. You know, we're still human beings. We still have feelings. So when you go to a crime scene and just say it's a murder investigation or a hit and run investigation, and you see a body laying in the road, you kind of got to think, how would you feel at home? So I think it's very overwhelming. It's stressful because you still got to do your job to the best of your ability, to the fullest, and you can't, have feelings when you're telling the story because you got to just tell people the facts, and you just got to be. You can cry, when you get in your car, but then you got to compose yourself and get ready to go back on air because there are times we break down after a story just because it is so difficult sometimes. I mean, some we hear the most tragic stories. We are the people that hear. We vet it before it goes on air, and we make sure no one at home has to experience it before, like we did, because it is difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I bet it is. I mean, I can imagine just being, in that environment and still knowing that you need to, to be live in 20 minutes and you are not ready, I would say, like emotionally, you are not emotionally ready for it. That's, yeah, that's something that is incredible, that you guys are need to still do the work and you do it great. So you guys, now that I mentioned emotionally, so you guys also get there is any training for you guys in this aspect when you are at school or when you are working. How is the training to deal with this situation?
Well, I think our managers are always talking to us. They're always expressing an open door policy in their office, to come talk to them and tell them, if we just went out to a murder scene, they want us to talk to them because if we boil it up, if we, keep it inside it's just going to make it worse the next time we go out. For instance, I went out to a hit and run accident where there was a body still laying in the middle of the road. And, that was pretty difficult. That's one of the most difficult things I've seen so far in my professional career. And the body was luckily covered, so I didn't see a body. But I just had to go in there and I had to talk to my managers. I said, "No, listen, this is what I just saw. It was pretty difficult." And they talk to you about it and they try to help you through because they want to make sure you're okay. That's the main thing when you're a journalist is you're going to experience a lot of different things. But the first and foremost thing that's most important to our managers and our station and even our company is your well-being, because without us, we couldn't do it, and without our well-being, we couldn't do the job, properly.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wonderful thing to have that support system, for you, your managers, your coworkers. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So now getting away from, the overwhelming situations, talk to me about the fun stuff. What is the most fun situations, like being a reporter? What is the most fun situations for you as a reporter?
So for me, there's a lot of different fun situations. I work on our morning show, so I work from 3:30 a.m. to 12:30 in the afternoon. And we get to show a lot of our personality on our show, at least. And what's great about it is I have so many different people. When we are out of the COVID-19 pandemic, I have people come to the station from all different walks of life, and I love when people who are chefs come in because I get to try their food. I mean, that for me is 5 a.m. in the morning. I get to try some chef's food. I mean, it's fantastic. I remember when we were in Christmas and Thanksgiving, I would have chefs come in and talk about how to make special dishes for the time, and I would say, come on in, bring some food too, and you can bring some food and show the people off the dishes, and then they would say, all right, you want to try some, and I would be like, sure. That's the best part. They bring in the food at 5 a.m. You have home cooked meals. It's great. And then when I get to talk to people like you, Elio, who have such a big impact on our community, and who play great music and who bring in their instruments, and let me mess around with them in the morning. It's so much fun.
Yes, yes, yes. No, and you know, it is very it is awesome when you also get to you can come to the events. I remember that we invite you to a couple of galas that we had the pleasure to have you guys there, you and some of your coworkers as well, at the TV 20 News, and that is fantastic. So you know, to me it is special the fact like you guys are always out there, you know, trying to be the voice of this community of Gator Nation, because we are here in Gator Nation, Gainesville, Florida. And now, you know, talk to me, Dylan. How is it to come from Orlando and being, you know, in a different, you know, city, and how is how is it special? How is Gainesville special for you?
I love the community here in Gainesville. Coming from Orlando, it's a really big city, so
Yes.
it's a little bit of a culture shock when you come to a city like Gainesville, and especially North Central Florida, because it is so community knit. It's a very big community, and from Columbia County up to here in Alachua County down to Marion County. I mean, it's all one community. Everyone's looking out for one another. I mean, I go outside and I see my neighbors, and I've never had so many people wave hi to me. It's so nice just to see that there's so good communities in this world, and I love the community here in Gainesville. Every time I come back to Orlando, or I come back to Gainesville from Orlando, it's a nice change, because I like the closeness of the Gainesville community. I think it's really amazing, and I love the impact that all of these organizations here in Gainesville have on the community.
Yeah, and now that we're talking about the community, do you ever had this situation where you are just going to Publix, or just getting out of your house, and somebody want to take a picture with you, say, "Hey, you are Dylan from the news." Do you ever had these situations before?
So I was in I'm it's funny, whenever people recognize me, I'm a pretty shy person when people recognize me, but I love to stop and talk to people. But it's funny because I was in Publix one time with my family, and a lady came up to me and recognized me, and it's funny, my family ended up talking with her too. And it's so funny when people recognize you, because I'm just doing a job. I'm doing a job like anyone else, and my job just happens to be on TV, where I tell people stories on TV. And it's funny because I don't like to take credit for these stories, because it's these people telling me their stories, and I'm just relaying it to other people. So it's these people who are telling me their stories. They should be the ones getting recognized, not really me. But it ends up me, because I'm the one on TV 4 times a morning every morning.
No, but you also deserve some credit. You are, working hard to actually to put that story out there, and you're doing a great work, great job. And if you don't believe me, just turn your TV on and watch TV 20. It's starting at 5. You guys start at 5 a.m., right?
5 a.m. But we get into the studio well before that. We get in at 3:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
How
So
you
it's
but
my producer, and my producer Spencer. He gets in at 11 p.m. and stays till 8 a.m. He's the only one in the station all night. So credit to him. I mean, he makes the magic between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Wow, shout out to Spencer's and the production team. Yeah, because you guys are fantastic. That is for sure. So how do you manage your schedule? Because you gotta go so early, and so you gotta go to bed very early too.
Yeah, definitely. Having pets is very difficult on this shift. I have a dog, so I take him out a lot, because you just gotta manage your time. It's all about that. You know, I live a normal life. I take naps sometimes to help live a normal life. And then when it gets to Friday, you got to try to adjust to be with family, be with friends, and not always think about work. But you're always in that kind of work mindset, because Sunday rolls around, I got to go to bed early, so you can't mess up your schedule too much. But I eat dinner probably when normal people are eating their lunch dinner, and so I just have to alter my shift a little bit. But to me, it's a normal day.
Yeah, wow. That's unbelievable, because you gotta go very early. So you wanna go to the movie theater, it's all about time management. You just said it, just adjusting yourself. It's like now, for example, we have this situation where everybody's at home, working from home. You guys are actually at home. There is nobody at the studio right now, except for few people, I guess, that they are working with the production.
Right.
So I would like to thank you also for that, for keeping, for TV 20, for keeping, all news going, especially in the midst of this crisis, and the production team sacrificing and being still exposed to this COVID-19 situation. To make the news happen, so that is fantastic. So, what inspired you to be a reporter?
It's funny. I love the community. I love telling stories, and I just love meeting people and telling stories. And I think being able to tell stories in such a unique platform. I think TV is so unique because I get to capture video, I get to capture sound, and I get to see people in their most vulnerable moments, and to allow them to let me record that and to show it on TV, whether it's a birthday party, or for where during the COVID-19 pandemic, where a bunch of truckers are driving by, or whether I'm going out to a murder scene and I see a family there who's just had a loved one murdered. You're seeing people in their most vulnerable moments. So to be able to tell a story on a unique platform, it just means the world, because it means that people have trust and faith in me to tell a story. I like to think of myself as almost a writer on TV, and in a short version, I tell stories as a writer on TV, and it's so cool because we have so many opportunities, and we can do things in such unique ways.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, you are the youngest reporter that I know. Yes, and one of the youngest, I guess, right, around. So how does it feel, to be on TV and being having all this accomplishment after you've been working just for over a year at TV 20, right?
Right.
And we already recognize you all over, and you are also making an impact. You just mentioned that, but you're also making an impact with your supporting, with your great job. So how does it feel to be this young and to be on TV? And I will say, because I know that's part of your dream when you are a reporter, being on TV and also being able to be versatile and work at the field. How does it feel for you?
It's what I've always dreamed of. It's when athletes grow up, their dream is always hearing their name called in the NFL or NBA draft. My dream is always, getting a job in journalism and being able to tell stories. So for me, it's my honor to be here and to be afforded this opportunity. Being young, it's just something that for me is another, I would say, another challenge sometimes, because people don't always take you so seriously when you're so young. But you just got to understand, I am in this place for a reason. I am in the right place for the right reasons, and I have just as much value to my station as an older reporter does to another station.
Yes, and it is always the right moment to do the right thing. So you just mentioned the right, the right moment. So let me tell you that I am very grateful and honored and humble for having you here. Thank you for making time for us this morning at Morning Coffee with Elio. We have just like a couple minutes. So what would you say before we go to the new generation that they have aspirations, to be a reporter, a journalist in the future?
I would say be ready. I think if the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us anything, it's be ready, be flexible. I'm sitting right here in my home office because we have taken steps at our station and our company as a whole to make sure that our community remains safe. And one of that is our reporters are now working from home. As you said, there's very few people at our station. So we're doing everything we can to protect the community as well as protect our journalists working at the station. So be ready, be flexible, and be truthful and be honest. Whatever you do, whether it's journalism or not, you gotta be truthful and be honest with the work that you're doing, because that's the only way you'll be successful, and that's the only way you'll thrive in your career.
That is awesome. I thank you, Dylan. Thank you very much for that. Hey, this is Morning Coffee with Elio. Like this show and share it right now. And please make a comment below. Where are you watching from? And also, if you have any question from Dylan, if you want to be a reporter or you know anybody in your family that is a reporter and you have questions for Dylan, please engage right now. This is your time to talk one-on-one with the great Dylan Lyons from TV 20 News. And I am saying goodbye just for now, but I'm going to see you guys back on Monday with the amazing Taylor Trump. We're going to be talking about how important it is to have a podcast to, keep reaching clients and expanding the vision of your business and your brand. This is a very important topic. Dylan, thank you once again, my friend. I really, really enjoy our time here. It was a lot of fun, and I really hope that our people, our morning coffee community, got to learn more about how hard it is to be a reporter and how difficult it is, but also fun sometimes. It is a very, very awesome career. So you are thinking to be a reporter, you are seeing Dylan Lyons, from TV 20. Yes, here at Morning Coffee with Elio. And let's shout out to TV 20, all the local stations. But TV 20 News for always being there for our community and for being as part of, as our family here as well. Thank you so much, Dylan. I am going to see you guys on Monday. Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.